Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash, the abundance of the elder apostles, the great millstone, who rule well and who have taught us knowledge. Honors and salutations to you, fellow laborers, doing the work of truth and sincerity. Shalom to you, and shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. This is a quick video, or short video, I should say, based on the question that was asked after camp, and that was how you observe the Sabbath and how you keep up with it. So I said I'm gonna throw up this video to Lord willing, help observe and keep up with the Sabbath, because the Sabbath is an important day among Israelite high holy days and customs. It's very serious, when you go in the scriptures. As a matter of fact, I was gonna start off with Ecclesiastes 43, but let me go to the book of Exodus, because it was established, all right, when we were being delivered from the old Egyptians. So, with that being said, let's go straight to the book of Exodus 31. All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 31. Starting at verse 12, it says, "And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths shall ye keep. Ye shall keep. For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Yahweh that doeth sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath thereof, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is a Sabbath of rest, holy to Yahweh. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant." So, as you can see, the Sabbath is a very serious high holy day and very important to keep and uphold. And it's something that we were commanded to perpetually keep throughout our generations, as I just read. So this is the reason why, being in our captivity, we still reverence the Most High Sabbath, because it was the ordinance that we should keep throughout, again, our generations. So we observe the Sabbath, and those of us that have a moon phase calendar, I have one pulled up right here, by the way. Those of us that have a moon phase calendar, we keep up with it, the new moons, um, based upon the moon phase calendar, where they show you all the phases of the moon, percentages of illumination, as far as the brightness of it and everything. All right, so it's a good tool to use. All right, so let's get into the Sabbaths. All right, and according to the scriptures, this is the new month. And how we know that, because when you go to Ecclesiastes, the 43rd chapter, which I'm turning to. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 43 and 5, and it says, "Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world." And that's true, because the moon, all right, is an ornament, all right, or a light that's in the, or that rules the night. Okay, as is written in Genesis. Well, let's go to it. Matter of fact, let's go to it. right? The book of Genesis, right? Because the book of Genesis, which Genesis means beginnings. There were, you know, uh, the beginning of creation, where you have the lights being made, the sun and the moon. So let's get that real quick. Genesis 1, and I'm going to jump around a bit. Genesis 1 and 14. And the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. It's plain, you're observing for different signs of heaven, the seasons, days. You count the days from the new moon, and to the new moon for the next month, right? Which the next month will come in, right? And you keep up year by year. All right. It says, verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And the powers made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So, going back to the beginning, right, or creations, you had the light that ruled by day, which is the sun, and you have the moon, which rule by night, as far as in being a light, all right, being a light, being an illumination to see at night, and the sun would see in the daytime. That what makes it daytime, the sunlight, right? And then you have the moonlight, which of course is darker at nighttime, of course. And then also you have the stars, all right, ornaments that are placed in the sky, on the Lord's commandment. All right, so back in Ecclesiastes 43, in verse 6, it says, he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Because when you go to, like a moon phase calendar, and you see the phases of the moon, right? As you can see, when it's a new moon, which August 27th, 2022, the new moon came in, right? It's a zero illumination, okay? So it does decrease it, all right? It says, verse 8, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So, the month is called after her name. That's where you get the Hebrew word Chadash, all right? Chadash is the word month, all right? Which month and moon is synonymous, because you will know the new month will come in based on the new moon, all right? And from the new moon, you would count from there on, all right, until the next new moon. So it will have been Saturday, right? Well, according to the calendar, moon phase calendar, it would have been Saturday Eve to Sunday Eve, right? According to the moon phase calendar. And then the next month, when the new moon or the new month would come in, which would be the 25th of September, all right, and that would be Sunday Eve until Monday Eve, all right, and you see again it's zero illumination, okay, excuse me. So this is just a way I keep up with the Sabbath, according to the new moon, and like I said, I have a moon phase calendar right here, so this is a great tool. Again, back in the scriptures, let's go to the book of Isaiah. All right, because in the book of Isaiah, so we'll go to the 66th chapter and the 23rd verse, it kind of tell you how the new moon and new month come in. It says Isaiah 66 and 23, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh. So that's a clear indication that a new moon, all right, it's a Sabbath to Sabbath, all right, new moon to new moon, it's a Sabbath to Sabbath. So the new moon, then you count 6 days in the Sabbath, and count another 6 days in the Sabbath, and then count another 6 days in the Sabbath. Then you will have shortly after a new moon coming in, all right. And just a a little history. Issachar was able to observe, the moon or understanding the times in the seasons according to the new moon. They was known to be great astrologers. Matter of fact, that's the book of First Chronicles, because a lot of them, even to this very day, could keep up with understanding the times and their knowledge of astrology was a great help, to know when the new moon would come in, know the time of the day. All right. First Chronicles 12 and 32, and of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. Yeah. So, Issachar was really good at that. It can tell you when the new moon was getting ready to come in, and how to count the days, according to the month. And then you had high holy days, which were kept in, certain months. Excuse me, like, for example, you had the Passover, right? So the Passover, you're going to go to Exodus 12, right? It tell you that in Exodus 12 and 1, it says, and Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. So, the first month of the year, right? This is what we were to do, right? Keep the Passover. It goes on to say in verse 3, speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. So the first month, all right, on the 10th day, you would take a lamb. Why? Because you would prepare the Passover. Okay. And jumping down to verse 6, it says, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. All right. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. So you would keep up with the Passover from the first month and the 10th day until the 14th day. All right. Just an example of how you would observe the feast. All right. The signs of the you observe the signs of the times, and you would keep up with the feast. All right, of the high holy days. All right, along with that, because in the book of Psalms, the 81st chapter, it tells us. All right, Psalms 81 and 3, it says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. So you would know accordingly, like, hey, this the 7th month, and the matter of fact, the Day of Atonement. Let's get that 7th month. I believe it was. I don't want to get the day mixed up, but let's get it. Yeah, kind. This is Leviticus 23 and 27. Also, on the 10th day of the 7th month, there should be a day of atonement. So the 7th month and the 10th day of that 7th month is the Day of Atonement. All right, another high holy day, and you will afflict your souls. All right, so when you go in the scriptures, you have different high holy days. You have the first fruits. You have Purim. You have harvest. Different high holy days we keep up with based on observing the you know the moon, and knowing the days of the month, and the number, well, knowing the days of the month according to the numbers, and knowing the months according to the number of the month as well. All right, so pretty much that's how you would keep up with it. Um, you got the also to add in there, excuse me, to add in there as well. You have in this society, in these wacky tacky Christians, where they have a thing about keeping the Sabbath, and they do it according to Esau's calendar, which Esau's calendar is based upon um, idols. All right, idol worshiping. And how you know is because you can even look it up, which I've done, to show you an example of how it's based upon idols. All right, let's go. This is from livescience.com, and it shows you pretty much of where these names of days come from, which is all from heathen customs. All right, in Jeremiah the 10th chapter say we're not supposed to learn the ways of the heathen, because the customs of the people are vain. So you have Monday was Moon Day, Tuesday Mars, Wednesday Mercury, Thursday Jupiter, Friday Venus, Saturday Saturn, and Sunday Sun God, of course. And you have the different languages, right? And you have in Latin, Spanish, French, Italian, different names they would say in these different languages. It's all based upon idols. So that's the reason why I myself, personally, and I'm sure many other brothers don't observe the Sabbath according to Esau's calendar. We observe the new moons. All right. Quick precept on that. The book of Psalms 96. Let's go to that real quick. It tells you how the gods of the heathen are idols. Because the heathen, they would worship the sun and the moon. All right, and you're not supposed to worship the sun and the moon, as it is written in the scriptures. All right, the Lord said not to worship those things, and the heathens, they worship those things: the sun, moon, stars, animals, you name it. All right, water, wind. All right, different things that are silly. Rocks. All right, it's just silly. All right, instead of worshiping the Creator of all things, which they were not made to do that. All right, only us, the children of Israel, were made to do that. So this is Psalms 96, and verse 4. It says, "For Yahweh is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens." And they don't worship the true living power. All right, which is the Heavenly Father Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai. They don't worship them. They worship these idols, things they made for themselves, idols of gold and silver, you name it. All right, and that's the reason why we don't observe or keep the customs of those peoples, because that's all going to idol worshiping. All right, so again, brothers post high holy days, and even when the Sabbath's coming in, which Abarat Father's will, I'll start posting videos on the new Sabbath when it's coming in. So with that, Lord willing, this video was helpful to the gentleman that actually asked the question. It's just a quick video, and I want to throw it up so you can understand how I observe the Sabbath, and it's based upon the scriptures. So, and I'm sure other Akim do as well. So, Lord willing, this is helpful to you. And until the next video, I want to say shalom.